I'm so honored to welcome Andrew Stanton, writer, director, and vice president of creative Pixar Animation Studios. Andrew has been a major creative force at Pixar since 1990, when he became the second animator and ninth employee to join the company's elite group of computer animation pioneers. In his current role, he leads the new initiatives of the studio and oversees the development of all of his features and shorts. Stanton made his directorial debut with the record-shattering Finding Nemo, which garnered him 2 Academy Award nominations. Finding Nemo was also awarded an Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film of 2003, the first honor Pixar Animation Studios received for a full-length feature film. He also wrote and directed the Academy Award-winning Disney Pixar feature film WALL-E, for which he received a Best Original Screenplay Oscar nomination. He's currently directing an upcoming Pixar film, Finding Dory, set to release in 2016. A native of Rockport, Massachusetts, Stanton earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Character Animation from California Institute of the Arts. It's now my distinct pleasure to introduce my friend and fellow Calartian, Andrew Stanton.
Thank you, Dean Juarez. Let me start by saying what a privilege it is to be given the opportunity to speak here today, especially with it being your last year as the Dean of the BU of College of Fine Arts. It has truly been an honor getting to know you over these past 5 years. And the dedication you've shown this school in your pursuit of furthering the arts and the personal attention you've given the students and their programs has been exemplary. You're a class act and you will be missed. And speaking of class, hello, class of 2015. And good afternoon to all family, friends, and faculty attending as well. Today is a big day. I'm sure for many of you, parents and loved ones included, you've been aiming towards this day most of your life. And this is why for the past few months you have been struck with a variety of strange and newfound ailments that you had previously never suffered from before. Possibly hypertension, hives, ulcers, severe acne. You never saw that mole before. Heart palpitations, maybe fainting spells or insomnia. And when you try to diagnose online what might be wrong with you, everything always ends up pointing to diabetes, doesn't it? Does for me. Now, to be honest, I don't know exactly what you're suffering from, but I can tell you what your problem is right now. It's stress. And it might be the most justifiable stress of your life. Because after today, your life really begins for you. And there's no syllabus to follow, is there? Parents, you can please not stop. Don't hurt your necks from nodding so vigorously in agreement from that. You must be scared out of your minds. You have lots of thoughts running through your head right now. Thoughts like, what's next for me? Where exactly do I go now? Will I keep the friends and connections that I've made here? And if we actually throw our caps in the air at the end of the ceremony, will I find it again? Because I only rented the cap and the gown and I need to return it. I could play it safe and not throw it in the air, but then what does that say about me? That I don't really believe in what I've achieved? That I'm not enthusiastic for my future? Or maybe it means that I'm not a joiner, that I'm an individual and that I choose my own path, starting now. Or I could just throw it and then grab someone else's cap to replace it. But what if that cap doesn't fit me, and then my family will be taking photos afterwards with me with this tiny cap on my head? See what you have to look forward to after this day? A lifetime of small choices like that. Each one a potential snowball that could roll down a hill and grow into something substantial, or simply crumble apart at the bottom. And believe it or not, that's what's great about life. You can't foresee the outcome. Fear and excitement are always next-door neighbors. So what if I just pretend to toss my hat in the air? You know, I could hold the corner with the tips of my fingers and make some spastic flailing gesture with my arm, and if I yell really loud at the same time, it'll distract from the fact that I'm faking it. But then again, if anyone catches me doing that, I'm just announcing to the world that I'm afraid, and I don't take chances. And that cute cellist from the music department I haven't ever had the guts to approach is right in my eye line, and is that the impression I want to go out on? The faker. And perhaps that's a feeling that you've carried during your time here, and might still be carrying it right now. That on some level, you faked your way through all this. Because that's how we initially learn, isn't it? Mimicry. We understand what an actor, a musician, painter, sculptor, or any other type of artist should look like on the outside, so we start by mimicking it. We see how our heroes did it, witness how our peers perform, study how our teachers explained it to us. You have to start somewhere. But understanding how something works only gets you so far, and at some point, you just gotta do. And after today, the doing starts, doesn't it? I never did well in school. I managed to graduate high school, barely got accepted into the colleges I applied to, and I was rejected from my alma mater my first go-round. And when I eventually got in, I was not a student who stood out among my peers, I was not a shining star, and most of the other students shone much, much brighter than I did. But I soon realized that what I did have, for as long as I can consciously remember, was a sincere yearning to create. So I coupled that with the one thing I could control. I knew I couldn't make myself more talented than the others, but I could work harder if I chose to. So I did. I put the odds in my favor. So what if it took 10 hours to do what the best kid in my class could do in 1 hour? That was the hand I was dealt, so I played it. And nearly 30 years later, I'm here to tell you, perseverance trumps talent. And anyone who's managed to make a career of being an artist will back me up on this. All of you have the ability to work harder, so use that gift. Okay, I'll throw my hat. Fine, I'll throw it. I'll actually stick my neck out, join in with everyone, rah-rah. But between you and me, I'm gonna be careful to toss it straight up so that hopefully it'll come right back down directly to me. Or at least close by. I just have to keep an eye on it the whole time, and it should all work out fine. Low risk, high reward, right? It's like when I was the only one with my friends with a meal left on my card and I distracted that old lady at the register while everyone else snuck into the dining hall. Solid strategy. I get it. Timidity is a valid response to tough choices. It means you're afraid of failing, of looking like a fool. But hopefully during your time here at BU, you've learned that creating is about discovery. And no one discovered anything worthwhile without some level of risk and discomfort. And creating is your individual right. There is nothing that can stop you from creating. When I started at Pixar, I was hired as an animator. It was what I was trained to do, and was fortunate enough to be part of our initial small group, and we all taught ourselves how to make a movie. It was called Toy Story. Yes, that's how old I am. And it was the blind leading the blind. But then we hired an actual professional screenwriter, and you might have heard of him. His name was Joss Whedon. And for about a year, I had a front row seat into learning how to write a movie, and I was hooked. And Joss had to leave the project early to go on to do greater things, so then I decided I would try a hand at continuing to write the movie myself. Nobody gave me permission, and I didn't ask for it. I just wrote privately, again and again, revision after revision, until I thought I had written what was good enough to possibly show others. And I remember thinking, what's the worst that could happen? They'll reject my writing? Oh well, it's not what they're paying me to do anyway. But I mainly had the guts to do it because I knew they couldn't stop me from writing it. And that is the freedom you should all embrace. If you want to write, write. If you want to act, act. If you want to play, play. See what I'm saying? Creating is your individual right. And if you take away one thing from this speech, other than the fact that this tassel keeps moving all the time when I talk, remember this: there is nothing and no one that can stop you from creating, so do not let them. Look, I know what you're thinking, but it took nearly 30 minutes and a lot of bobby pins to get this hat to stay on my head. I'm not taking it off for anyone. I know the time and effort I put into the look. They don't. It doesn't come for free. I'm just going to proudly stand here and not throw my hat. I might even cross my arms across my chest and let everyone know I'm nobody's trained monkey. And I may harbor a bit of regret at that choice, but I'll look good. Besides, if throwing that hat is supposed to lead to success, what exactly does success look like? Because if it means wearing an even funnier looking hat like the guy who's speaking right now is wearing, then honestly, is success really worth it? And that's a darn good question. Sure, you want to look good. You want to control your outcome. You want what you create to be successful, to have a positive effect on the audience. You want to connect with them. But what really connects with people is truth. Truth discovered, wrestled to the ground, and expressed with your thumbprint. That's the equation of creating. And if you control that equation too much, it'll smother your intentions before they ever have a chance to bear fruit. You need to loosen that control and allow a certain amount of chaos to exist. Any parent raising a child understands this instinctively. And what's the fuel you need for creating? What drives it? Passion. You need passion. And I'm here to tell you, after 50 years of pursuing my passion, 25 of it professionally, and also witnessing my son and daughter grow to pursue their own passions, I've come to the conclusion that that's what art is all about. Art is passion. Passion to live. So know that all of you, the graduating class of 2015, School of Fine Arts, you're already one step ahead in your future than so many others because you've chosen the arts. You've chosen to study something you feel passionate about. But know that passion is a moving target. Pursuit in the arts is a pursuit for affirmation that you're alive, pure and simple, and you will change, and so will where your passion lies, and that's a good thing. Change is movement. Change fosters surprise. And deep down, who doesn't like surprises? So when they announce you've officially graduated today, just throw the cap. Enjoy the moment it's in the air, and let it fall where it may. Congratulations, class of 2015. You've earned it. Now go do.